right, so it's me, Christy. Let me tell you about a story time about the worst experience I had as a Section 8 tenant. Hold on, I'm gonna cook some toast. Got some raisin bran. Get my toaster out. Okay, so it is October year 2025, right? And I would say back in, okay, so I became a nurse year 2009, which means I went to nursing school in 2008. So I would say around year 2005/2006, my mom was putting someone else's name on the Section 8 list. And she was like, Christy, I'm going to put your name on the Section 8 list. I'm putting a Taekwondo name on the Section 8 list. I was like, okay. This was before I thought to go to nursing school. So at the time, I would say that my daughter was like maybe 2 to 3 years old, like maybe 3 years old. Right now, like my daughter is 22 years old. So anyway, long story short, my mom put my name on the Section 8 list before I became a LPN. I first became a licensed practical nurse, and then I became a registered nurse, and now I'm a graduate of the Family Nurse Practitioner Program. So anyway, she put my name on the list, and I was not working year 2021. This was the year that my daughter graduated from high school. It was year 2021. I wasn't working because I was in school. And anyway, my name came up to the top of the list to get like a Section 8, how do you call it? Like a rental. So this was strange because it was after all these years. Now, mind you, I'm currently on a disability at the time, like a temporary like disability. So I'm receiving a disability check. I'm not receiving any food stamps because I couldn't get food stamps while on disability because they count that as income. So I experienced the worst Section 8 landlord from hell. So the Section 8, it wasn't like how I thought it was going to be. Like some people seem like life is just so good with Section 8. Everything is rosy, peachy. I caught hell trying to find a Section 8 rental. First of all, every place. So I went to the Section 8 website that lists people who specifically rent out to Section 8 people. And every time I seemed to call whoever was on that list, the Section 8 rental was already taken. So that was one thing. I learned that it was highly competitive. So then I found this Section 8 rental, and the landlord was like, okay, like the person's going to be moving out on such and such date. You could come by and take a look at the property. So it was a villa. Like a villa, if you don't know what like a villa is, it's a townhome without the garage. And it was one story. So it was a two bedroom, 2 bathroom. My voucher at the time, I forgot how much was my voucher for. My voucher was for, oh my God, I'm trying to tell y'all a story and don't remember how much my voucher was for at that time. This was year 2021. My initial voucher was for, I want to say the property, he listed the property as $1,550. So on the Section 8 website, he had the property as $1,550. And my voucher was for like $1,550 or something like that. It had like a utility expense that I can get $34 back for like utilities expenses. But because this was a villa, I had to pay for my own water. I had to pay for my own lights. And plus I had to pay a gas bill. And then if I wanted internet, I had to pay for that. If I wanted cable, I had to pay for that. It was almost like having a home as far as utilities. So anyway, I came to see the place. This was in a neighborhood that I just did not like. I did not like it, but to avoid losing my voucher, because I had already got an extension on my voucher. I had already got one extension. I didn't know that you can get 2 extensions if you really push for it. But things was just looking very slim. as far as trying to get someplace that was decent. And at the time, my credit was like close to like a 600 at the time. Now my credit is like 678. It's closer to a 700. So my credit was close to like a 600 at the time because of my situation. So some of the places was like, oh, like some of the nice places was like, oh, you have to meet like the credit requirement and this, that, and the other. So that disqualified me. So that was one thing. Secondly, now back to the landlord. So I came on that day to see the place. And the girl was actually moving out when I came. Like, she was still sweeping. She was picking up stuff. She was mopping the floor and everything. And the girl that was standing there, it was a black girl. She moved in originally with one child. So it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. She originally moved in with one child. But then she had a set of twins while she was there. So it was a total of 4 of them, plus her boyfriend lived there. But I don't think her boyfriend was on the voucher, like listed, because it was her boyfriend and not her husband. And I spoke to the girl, so that's how I know. So when I saw the girl, because I'm sitting out there waiting because I got there like early. So she was turning in the key to the landlord. So I got out there pretty early to be the first person because I saw how competitive it is to get like a Section 8 rental. And I asked her a question about the landlord. She was like, oh, like the landlord is pretty cool. The landlord is pretty cool. I had videos of the property. I wish I still had the videos to show y'all exactly what I was talking about. So the girl, she had like all these different colors. You could tell she didn't take good like care of the place. I think she was there like 7-8 years. And in the living room, it was like yellow. Then half of the living room was blue. Then it was pink. It was just like, it just didn't make sense. And the cabinets were so disgusting. Oh my God, I wish I had the videos to prove to you all that I am not exaggerating. When I say I'm not exaggerating, the cabinets were so old. But see, I didn't notice that when I first went to visit the place. I just wanted to like use my voucher and get into a place before my voucher expires, because they give you an expiration date on the voucher. I'm sorry, I'm taking all the raisins out of the raisin bread. And people say, well, why do you buy raisin bread if you're taking all the raisins out of the raisin bread? I like the flavor that the raisins bring, and I like some of the raisins, but not all the raisins. All right, let me toast this. Let me get some butter. So anyway, back to the story. So he chose me to rent his property. He likes to do everything via Zelle. The thing about him, what I had learned about the Section 8 was these people do not follow the rules like how they supposed to follow the rules. They want their money before you even fill out the application. They be wanting their money before you fill out the application. They want their money before Section 8 come to do the inspection. Because how it's supposed to work, you find a rental. You and the landlord agreed that, okay, I want to rent your place. The landlord said, I want to lease my place out to her. And then you're supposed to turn the paperwork in to Section 8. And then Section 8 is supposed to say, okay, I see we have 2 people that are in agreement. We need to come out and do an inspection on the rental to make sure that it is up to par to be leased out or to be rented out. And then after that, once Section 8 approves the property and it passes inspection, then at that point, you can make a down payment and pay your deposit and stuff like that. And they tell you specifically, do not give money until we approve the rental unit. Okay. So the landlord, he wanted the money. He wanted all his money. He wanted the he wanted the first month rent. which was $1,550. He wanted a deposit, which was $1,550. It was equal to the first month rent. And he wanted me to pay for the application fee. I think it was like $60 or something like that per person. And because my daughter was 18 years of age, I had to pay for her to for like the application fee because she was considered an adult. So anyway, long story short, he wanted all his money. And I was like, well, aren't we supposed to wait for Section 8 to approve the place? He was like, I can go to somebody else. He was like, I have several people that want this place. So it was my mom and I. So we ended up giving him the money. We gave him the money before we were supposed to give him the money. Nothing was approved at this time. Nothing was approved by Section 8 or anything at this time. So I get on the phone with Section 8 and tell them what's going on. And like my mom, like, don't tell him nothing. Don't tell him nothing. Like, don't say nothing to Section 8. Don't say nothing to Section 8. We don't want to cause no problems. We just want to get you into a unit. And oops, I'm telling them my mom. My mom, she just didn't want no problems. So at first, like, my mom had approached him and was like, why do you want us to give the money and Section 8 haven't even come out and approved the unit? And he was like, I can go to somebody else. He was rude. He was like, he's Spanish. I don't want to say he was a Cuban. I think he was from, like, which country was he from? He's Spanish though. So Section 8 was like, we prohibit potential tenants from giving money to the landlord and all of that kind of stuff before we approve the unit for, like after inspection. He didn't care. So we paid him the money. And Section 8 came out to do the inspection. And he failed the inspection the first time. And he had already given me the key. Like, as soon as I paid him the money, he spent 2 weeks on trying to turn the apartment or trying to turn, like, the villa around and redo the walls and paint and everything like that. But he didn't do it fully. And the girl that was there, she really tore down the place. Like, when I say it was missing closet doors, like the closet doors that was supposed to be there were gone. Some of the cabinets off the kitchen were gone, or like one or two were gone. The refrigerator looked very old. It had a yellow stain on it, like it was rusted. Oh my God, I wish I would have had the pictures. The bathrooms was disgusting. The cabinet in the bathroom was so nasty. It was molded. It was mildew. It was black. And that was in the master bedroom. So, and then the girl, she also had holes in the wall. Like somebody was just punching holes into the wall. I don't know what was going on. She was basically like your typical Section 8 tenant that people talk bad about. Like she wasn't the worst, because it could have been worse, but she wasn't the best and she wasn't good. So anyway, he gave me the key and told me, oh, he wrote the lease up, and he wrote the lease up for before Section 8 passed the inspection. So like, let's say I came to visit the unit May 31st, right? The date that I came to visit the unit on May 31st, he wrote the lease up for that date. Like, he wasn't trying to have no downtime whatsoever. He did not want to, like, he wrote the lease up, like, let's say I came to see the place on May 31st. I think he wrote the lease up for June 1st. The girl just moved out yesterday. You got your men in here working, fixing the holes in the wall, painting, fixing the plumbing, doing all kind of stuff, and you want to write my lease up for June 1st, and Section 8 ain't even come out yet. How you gonna write my lease up and this supposed to be Section 8? And the thing about it is, when I came to visit the unit to see the property, other people came, and somebody wanted to pay just regular like cash money, and the landlord was like, I only rent to Section 8 people. He was like, I only rent out like to Section 8 tenants only. I don't take like, like regular payments. So if you a Section 8 landlord that only rent out to Section 8 tenants, you know the process. Why did you write my lease up for like the very next day? Your men in there working for 2.5 weeks, which they should have been working for like a month straight. Your men in there working for 2.5 weeks. I'm not living there. I don't even have the key yet. But then you try to rush and give me the key as soon as your men finish working, like in 2.5 weeks. But you still wrote on the lease June 1st, but then I get the key like the 3rd week of June. And I was like, I really don't want the key right now. But I hadn't already gave him the money. I gave him like the money for the security deposit, the first month rent, like the application fee. He ran my background and stuff like that. So we was waiting for Section 8 to come out. So he failed the inspection, like I said before. And when he gave me that lease, I'm like, this lease is wrong. He was like, well, what's wrong about it? He was a slick Spanish person. He was so slick. Like, you know how people be slick? He was slick, he was arrogant, and he was rude. I guess he felt like I would, like, on Section 8, I'm like, beneath him, and he could talk to me any kind of way. And I had been experiencing this with personal landlords when I was searching for a unit to move into. So he redid the lease. And changed the date to July 1st. Now, mind you, he failed the first inspection. So then Section 8 came back, I want to say like July 5th or July 6th or July 7th, because it had to be after the holiday, because I remember that. And I think in 2021, I think July 4th, I think it fell on like a Friday. And then like the next available date Section 8 had for an inspection was like July 7th or something like that, July 6th. But he wrote my lease up for July 1st when he should have prorated. He shouldn't have charged me for those first 5 days, but he charged me anyway. He was sneaky. Very sneaky. Any way he could make like money. So Section 8 is supposed to come out and do the inspection, and Section 8 is supposed to tell me how much money I'm supposed to pay, right? So Section 8 finally approved the property, and it was this old crazy looking person that came out. I'm like, how are you approving all this stuff? The towel coming up off the floor, the cabinet hanging off, the cabinet is disgusting. And he was like, my job is to make sure that like is working and this, that, and the other. So he did request for the towel on the floor to be replaced. And when the landlord replaced the towel on the floor, he went and chose any kind of towel. I ain't gonna say any kind of towel. He did try to make the color match, but I felt like he didn't try to make it match like how he should. So anyway, it had those little bugs in there, like the white bugs that be crawling in the corner. I didn't notice that when I came to visit the unit because I'm trying to rush and use my voucher. I'm running out of places to look at because it's been months and I've been searching for a place. So I realized like a lot of people have Section 8 vouchers. So the place got approved, but the stuff that he approved, it was like you really need to fix this place up. And it was after I got the key. It was after I got the key and paid the money, I was able to go in the place and really like look around. And when I actually got the chance to really look, I did not like it. It was crummy. It was dusty. And the tiles that was popping up off the floor, you know how the tiles get so old that the cement turned into dirt? The cement just started to disintegrate and turn into dirt, and you could lift the tile up. I'm not that kind of person. So I realized this place is disgusting. I did everything I could to fix the place up. I had videos. I should have been posting videos. I redid the tile on the floor, like the grout. I used that temporary grout line stain. I did that. I painted the cracks in the wall. I have a friend. He's a licensed general contractor. We painted the cabinet tops, like the kitchen countertops. Painted that. Went and got a door. I had to tell the landlord, I'm like, it's missing the door. It's missing the door to the cabinet. Then the washing machine was different colors. It was this big old washing machine inside the kitchen. I realized I do not like this place at all. So let me tell you where he was slick again. He was slick again. So when I originally looked at the place on Section 8, the rental price was for $1,550. But when Section 8 came out and did the inspection, they did this, they did that. Section 8 was only willing to pay him 14 something. I think it was $1,469 or something like that, like $1,469. So he was like, so my portion to him was $0. And Section 8 was paying all the rent. But because Section 8 did not pay him the $1,550, he wanted me to make up the balance and pay him that like up under the table. And I told him I'm not supposed to pay that. He was like, oh, like I can get somebody else. He was nasty. He was real nasty. He didn't care. He was like, I can get somebody else. So then I just end up paying him the money on the side. Monthly. It was $89 every month I paid him. And when I had told Section 8 about it, because I'm a new Section 8 tenant, they was like, you should not be paying him that money. We told you that your portion to him is $0. We're only giving him $1,469 for the rent. That's what we value the property at. He threatened me again. Oh, like I can get somebody else. If you don't want to pay it, I can get somebody else. Things got ugly. So I didn't move into the place because I just couldn't live there. So I continued to stay with my mom. And I had put furniture in there. I bought a little sofa. My daughter had a bedroom set. I'm trying to think. I took my bedroom set from my mom's house because my mom was like, you got a whole new place. You need to go live in your place. So my mom was forcing me to go live in this place that I just could not stand. I could not stand the place at all. My daughter's room was nice, but the bathroom was just crummy. The paint off the tub had been chipped off. I had my friend paint that. We did a lot of stuff. In the bathroom, in the master bedroom, I had purchased a new sink and vanity. I just had to get rid of the old one. It was just so nasty. It was so nasty. Everything was just so nasty. It was so nasty. And anyway, I was paying him the money on the side, and then he went and got a rental increase from Section 8. So he went through Section 8 to get the rent increase. And I'm going to tell you how he tried to like falsely evict me, but that's a whole nother story. I want to keep this video short. So I'm paying the money on the side, everything going cool. I pay him the money via Zelle. But I'm gonna tell you how he tried to falsely take me to court and put some eviction on my name, and he ended up having to pay me in court. I have a copy of the paycheck. I got a copy of all the paperwork. He was a nasty person. But yeah, so this is like the beginning of the Section 8 landlord from hell horror story. I'm gonna tell it like around Halloween time. So yeah. So anyway, I'll come back to y'all with a part 2. I'm signing out.